This morning, Mom and I are starting off here in the onion field. We're gonna get a couple baskets of yellow, a couple baskets of white, and a couple baskets of red. Just look at these guys. And that back row there, enormous. Really? We're gonna grab tomatoes. Mom's working on red, which really ain't so red. They're mostly orange just because we're picking them off so fast. But they are big. You can see them there. I'm gonna work on green. But I'm really looking for the monsters.
Were they supposed to get tied one more time?
We did tie them one more time, but it doesn't matter. Once they start getting those tomatoes on them, it was only a couple, like this one here and this one here got really big for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, they did. They should have maybe. Those two plants should have been tied one more time, but for the most part, they didn't really need to be. So my greens are now done, except for this guy just knocked off. So now I'm working on, I guess you could say, oranges. There's a nice red one though, hidden up under here. Look at that guy. I said it last time I was in here, and I'm probably gonna continue to say it. I have never seen these as loaded as they are this year. I mean, we've picked, I don't know how many boxes out of here now, and there is just like an endless amount. And all of them are big, beautiful. Like I said, they're not the ripest, but they will be if we allow them to. Like, look at this guy here. This one's a little bit goofier. But look at that. You may wonder why I wear gloves, and well, maybe you can tell. They're supposed to be that gray color, and that's what tomatoes do to them, and then they crack your hands, and I don't like that. So today is Friday morning, August 1st, and it is the start of PA Produce Month. Dad and I here just got all of our bins packed, or our pallets packed, sorry, and we're gonna start loading truck. This is the biggest load yet. We gotta pick sweet corn, Mom's getting garlic. But the truck should be at least 3/4 filled by the end of this morning.
Yeah, I think Ollie, that's got a little and tight beetle, doesn't it?
All right, so now we'll grab some kale, and then we'll move on to collard greens, and then sweet corn all the way at the end of this field. We haven't even touched these bushes of kale yet.
We'll pick a couple for the store too, maybe 3.
All right, full crops are done. Now on to corn. This is the last picking for this morning for the market. And then we'll pick again for Monday, later on today. This is the second planting of watermelon and cantaloupe on the right side. They're doing awesome. And if you can tell, there's a ton of watermelon up there just hanging thick, or laying thick, I guess I should say. We keep trying to keep the crows out of them. It's working so far, but we got to get our balloons back up to scare them away. So this bin is now full. Now we'll just fill the tubs. So last thing before Dad leaves is sunflowers. These are really nice. I have a couple different kinds. These guys here have like a lighter yellow petal, and then these guys here have a darker yellow petal. To be honest, these are my favorite, color wise and just look wise. We'll cut them like 2 foot max, and then we strip the leaves down and then sell them like 1 or 2 leaves at the top.
Just do it bigger. Or open.
Yeah, I want to put these off.
That one there is pretty little. That's little open.
All right, so sunflowers are picked. Putting some water in them now. This will be the last thing to go in the truck. Daisy has to get dried off before going in the house. Right, Dace? You're all wet from the weeds in the cornfield and this is your favorite game, ain't it? So once, whether it's me or Dad, whoever leaves for market gets going, it's a little more relaxed just because we're always trying to get as much as we can, as fast as we can, so we have the biggest, nicest load for that day at the market. And so I'm gonna head back out and out of the cornfield, get a couple tubs of corn for Mom for the farm market. Look at the yellow dolls here, just hanging thick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 watermelons laying right on a pile. And then you got little ones back there, you got bigger ones over here. I mean, these guys are starting to get real big. Let's see if there's a yellow belly on it. Not yet, it's still early. I'm thinking maybe for Monday, but it's gonna be a stretch. You don't wanna take them too early and give yourself a bad name for watermelon. That one's just barely got a yellow belly going on there. But what I really stopped out here to do was put our balloons back in the ground. We try not to come through the fields at all. Oh, there's the hole. We try not to come through the fields at all before picking, only because wait, it don't seem like the hole's very deep. We hate to stomp down the vines because we want the watermelons to grow as big as possible. Just look at the watermelon, it's crazy. And then back there we have the red seedless. Over here is the cantaloupe, and again, they're not far off either. We always have a smaller, or at least the way Dad lays out the field, we always have a smaller variety here right next to the road. And then back there is like our bigger variety. I mean, these aren't bad size though. I mean, that's like your normal average. I would say these, again, probably not Monday for sure. Maybe Wednesday. I would say definitely Friday we'll be picking a couple. They've got their netting on the outside. It kind of seems like they're just about done growing. They just now gotta start to ripen. So I just got out here to the pepper field. I'm gonna pick peppers again. This will be the second time. But first, I wanna come down here to the tomatoes. And I see a ton of weeds. And I feel like if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna do it. And I want to pull out the ones that are coming up here around the actual tomato plant itself. Only because I'm afraid, this isn't really my concern, like this kind of weed. But I'm more afraid of like what they're called. Velvet leaf. They get really big, really bulky, and then they'll kind of shit out the plant. And I obviously don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna pull these out quick and then I can get to picking peppers. Right here, prime example. We had a lot of these coming up in the peppers and we got them pulled out, and now we gotta do the same thing here with tomatoes. But if you do it when they get too big, you're gonna disturb the roots of the tomato and possibly kill it. So now's the time. Look at this weed. This is called, I don't know if this is called ragweed or what this one's called. But this one has basically taken over the entire tomato and it's basically killing it. I'm not gonna pull this one out because I think the root system is now too big on it. But I'm just gonna break off anything I can. There. It'll stand a lot better chance now anyway. To be honest, I don't know if it's better to snap it off because I think it's just gonna regrow then, or pull it out. Some of these are growing right along the tomato plant. And I don't want to hurt it. So you can see the remnants from where I went through. Pulled a bunch out here. Want to pull a couple out here. Seems like only these 2 rows right here have weeds. The rest of the field does not. I think these are called lamb's quarters. This is like a grass. The one I said ragweed was not a ragweed. This is a ragweed right here. That's why if I could have got through to cultivate these, it would have been nice, but now I think we're to the point, they're too big. We're gonna have to let it go. There really, at least at this point, isn't many weeds at all. Just like I said, in these lower rows, kind of. I'm excited to see the difference in these peppers because I only got to cultivate part of them and not all of them. So we'll see what happens with the ones that weren't cultivated versus the ones that were. This whole bottom side was not cultivated, and then it's clear to see where I did. Until then I had trouble with the cultivator. You obviously can't keep every weed out. There's not enough time in the day. You can't afford all the workers to pull all the weeds. But it's so nice when you have fields like this that have little to no weeds. It's just easy, you come in, you pick, get it done. I thought I seen some big peppers here last time. For some reason, they're not blocky, they're pointy, but, or at least the first couple are. We're gonna pick them guys off because in my book, a pepper is a pepper, so. Also, certain weeds are worse than others. Like this weed here, this doesn't get high. So like it'll cover the ground, but that's about all it's gonna do. So who really cares? I just hate when they're high and they're in your way picking, you can't see and they're choking out the peppers. Like, that's when it's really bad. So I'm now on basket number 6. I think 6 is all I'm gonna get for today. For 2 reasons. 1, it's just enough, I think, for Monday. And 2, I'm actually starting to finish up these rows. And here they are. So I come up now to help Mom with red beets. These aren't growing as fast as we thought they would. But when you find some nice ones, I mean, they are nice. You don't really want monster red beets. People don't like them that big. We're getting to this bad section now where the water ran down through.
So they're not bigger?
No, it washed all the seeds away. There's just no red beets in general.